welcome, Antje. So great to have you here. So sorry for everything that was behind it, but so much better that you're actually here. You're the managing director of VAUDE, and I have actually found out that you took over the company from your dad, and VAUDE were his initials. So that's quite cool, I thought. So maybe you could just give a short introduction of how did you get to your current position and why is sustainability such a big topic for you before we go into the depth of supply chain.
Okay, hi to everybody. Sorry that technical problems took me here so long. I was waiting here for an hour. I had a pretty similar way as Viola described it. I also, as a child, as a young person, I was very engaged with nature, and I was looking for my way how I could do my contribution to save this planet. And honestly, first I thought I would go to Greenpeace, so I thought I would sit in Viola's seat. But then I did several traineeships during my studies, and also in NGOs and in media and so on. And the last traineeship I did in the company of my father, and it really came as a surprise for me, because up to the stage I thought, okay, business is all about figures and not about planet and nature and people. And it was a revelation for me that, okay, if I really want to overtake responsibility, this is the place where I can really start in my position. I can overtake great responsibility for the people that work for me in my company, for the supply chain, for the products in society. So and I love being outdoors, so I love nature. So this is the reason why I'm there, where I am now.
Mm-hmm. So that was a perfect fit coming out together.
It was a perfect match. Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. So we have already heard Viola defining a sustainable supply chain. Antje, how would you personally describe or define a sustainable supply chain?
Very simple, according to the best understanding, and in practice, not at all simple. As a producer or as a brand, I know every detail of my product. I know where every detail of my product is produced. I know that it is produced climate friendly, without harmful substances, without over exploitation of nature, with fair living wages for everybody who is involved, so that everybody can make a living out of it, out of the whole production process. So that's the ideal. That's where we have to go.
Mm-hmm. Can I add something here?
Yeah.
Yeah, because thank you that you're there. So finally, I just would add two things, because something I learned in the last years really is that we have to overthink the idea of supply chain, because in our understanding often it just ends, as I said already before, but Antje wasn't there, it ends in the glossaps in Germany, or it ends wherever where you sell them. But I think we really have to understand that you're responsible for the resources you take to produce a product until it's really ends somewhere. And that means for textiles, as microfibers in Kenya, Tanzania, in Ghana, in the water. So that's what we have to understand. And that's how we need an extended producer responsibility really for the whole life. And something we both probably don't agree is that I think we really have to challenge the phase out of plastic, because right now 70% of the textiles on the market, 70% of the textiles you are wearing, everybody's wearing, is made from synthetic fibers. It's not recyclable, and it doesn't matter if it's produced as green and nice as possible. In the end, it lands up in environment, and it lands up as microfiber somewhere. And that means that in a moment already 35% of all microplastic in the ocean that's reaching the oceans now comes from the textile industry. So we have to phase out plastic. And I know it's problematic, I know especially for outdoor brands, but I learned also 10 years ago, everybody told me, PFC, we can't work without PFCs, per polyfluoride alkanes. It is possible, so this is also possible. If you ask me about a sustainable supply chain.
Okay, if you ask me about the supply chain, that's not my definition, but I totally agree about the circularity approach. And I think this is really, really the main there's so many problems and challenges in the textile industry, and the non-existent circularity is one of the biggest, because up to now only 1% of all textiles is recycled. So this is a big step where we heavily engaged to first build the landscape of infrastructure, and secondly build the right products in order to make them recyclable once the point of time is there that it can be actually recycled. And yes, we have a differentiate. We don't agree on this point of plastic because the resources are already out there. I don't agree in letting them burn or deposit them. I want them recycled in a circle. But I guess that this discussion between the two of us is too deep for this stage.
Exactly, and that's why I would like to ask you, Antje, how did you start off with just offering sustainable or more sustainable products in regard to the supply chain? Did you have first the demand of the customers coming in saying, I'm caring so much about your supply chain, or did you say as the owner, no, we're going to do it no matter what it costs and no matter if people are going to actually buy it or not? Because I could imagine that that's quite a challenge, right?
Yeah, nobody asked for it. So we started, when I overtook the company 15 years ago, in 2009, we started to do it step by step with this very ambitious vision that we will build VAUDE like a glass house where everything is clean because you can look, everything is transparent and good and social and fair, and went step by step. And here at the headquarters and in the entire supply chain, in the whole responsibility that Viola mentioned. And the first years were especially hard because no customers were asking for it. We always heard, it's nice that you do something like this, but be aware that it can't cost anything more because no customer will pay for anything extra because they don't ask for it. Our producers weren't waiting for us because we were only a small light at that point of time. We were a third of the size that we are today. And we heard from many producers, certification standards, not with us, you are too small. Other producers told us, okay, we will do this, blue sign certification, but you have to pay the audit cost of 20,000 euro per year. Yeah. It was really a hard road. It still is a hard road, but it became easier.
Yeah. And you've just talked about the financial aspect. I mean, how did you really ensure to still be financially sustainable? Because it's one thing to change your whole supply chain or start changing your supply chain to be sustainable. But then it's also the question, how do you actually financially and economically make sure that this will be sustainable and you'll make money out of it?
This is always posed as a question. This is like everybody thinks. It was also in my mind, can you be ecological or sustainable and can you be economical? And I think you have to just change this way of thinking because now we have something like the digitalization and every company has to be more digitalized. They have to go down this road. But nobody is asking the question, how can you do this? How can this be economically? You just have, this is the way we thought. We said, we implemented these sustainable goals in our company goals, and we said, okay, let's do it in a good management way. Let's go step by step, and we can only go as far as we can still exist because we're not an NGO. We have to survive, and in order to achieve this, which was not easier, which became easier, we spent less money on marketing, for example, in order to save money. We became much better with our planning processes because in the textile industry, you spend a lot of money because you have old apparel in the next year, and so you give it out for a low price. And then you earn much less. So with better planning processes, we became more efficient and we saved money on other parts. So we looked at our whole system and did it strategically, step by step, with the whole management team behind it to look holistically on everything that we do. Yeah, and I think it just belongs to good management practices.
Can I ask two aspects, because I think these questions are so crucial, and that's something everybody is asking about.
Probably as well, yeah.
And I, all the time, it's nice, sustainable, but who should pay for it, always. But I think that is the main question. So for me, first of all, the first question you said, do we have enough demands? I think we really, as a society and politician and everything, should rethink this question. Do we really wait for this demand? My question is, do we allow that textiles actually are made with blood, to be honest, destroy environment? Why are they still allowed on a market? And I mean, I don't want to play this Greenpeace card and so on, I really see this is also cost that comes to us as a society, because already just the textile industry is responsible for more than 10% of the global gas emission for things, the most stuff we don't really need or get shocked away, Maybe just one example, a typical party top in Germany get worn 1.7 times before it gets shocked away. But a t-shirt needs 2,700 liters of water for production. So this kind of resources we are using for throw-away stuff, or if you think about what cost we have as a society, not just in Germany, also internationally, global, if you see the big impact, like we have it right now, the catastrophe in Morocco, if you have seen that, it's all over the place now. Nobody can say it's not there anymore. This is cost we have actually here. So that's why we have to change this idea. Is it demand or is it more we allowed it? And the second part is, I think we really need an equal playing field, because I see a lot of companies who try to change something, who want to make steps, but really have to struggle in this society or this environment, because you make so much money with single-use plastic textiles. You make so much money. Think about Shein, just raised 100 million a year. They're bigger than Zara and H&M together in 1 year, Why should they change? So we need legal binding regulations for companies who want to change something, because the main goal is not just to clean the supply chain. The main goal is to produce much less and to become from a textile producer to a textile service provider, so that it can stay in a circle. The vision would be in 10 years, you go to Offenbach or to Frankfurt, to the Textile, and instead of you have bam, 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 one big single-use plastic provider, you have a renting store, a sharing store, you have textile clothing for parties. They should become the new normal, and that is a fundamental and radical change. And if you want to go there, in this environment, you need protection by binding regulation.
May I add also? Of course. I totally agree. Because we as a pioneer, we can go this way, and we go this way successfully, because even though we do a lot to make it not so necessary to buy a lot of things from us, because it's high quality and you can repair and so on, there are more and more people who are looking for that. So we grow because more and more people out there are looking for that. But for the mass of the businesses out there, we need a level playing field. So that's where we're also acting very politically as VAUDE. But I want to bring in also another point. We also have advantages with this way that we are going, because the way we are acting is we have this understanding that we have responsibility, that we're part of a problem. We are part of a problem. We are causing problems. So we have to find solutions. So this is our understanding. We are one of the most problematic industries that is out there. And by giving all this responsibility on our shoulders, the first stage we were really depressed because there was so much complexity and so many conflicting targets, so many costs, so many efforts, and a lot of fight. But meanwhile, it has made the company very agile and innovative, because we are an expert in solution finding. We already have many answers to what now are questions being raised by NGOs or legal laws are coming. So it's a very future-orientated way for a company to take this struggling hard way.
And Antje, I would like to know from you, what would be some low-hanging fruits for companies? Because you've just talked about all the responsibility that you're carrying, that it creates you to be more agile. But for companies that are here saying, yes, I really want to tackle a sustainable supply chain from beginning to the end, what would be some fruits they could pick off? Where to start off to really start simple but actually get going?
That's a tough question, because it's not so simple. I don't want anybody to beg off, but the supply chain is highly complex. We are a middle-sized company, but still we have 45 producers and 150 material suppliers. So it's not so easy to find lower-hanging fruit, because first of all, you need to know what you're doing. You need to care for transparency, and this is a step that needs work. So I thought about what is low-hanging. And when we started out, the first 2 years, we had to spend a lot of effort to convince our own team to go this path, because they had to find trust in us. They had to believe in this mission. And I think a low-hanging fruit today is to to communicate to your team that you want to go this way, because then I think you open up a lot of energy, because now there's so many people out there that really want to be engaged, that feel psychological thought, because they want to save the world on the one foot, and on the other foot they work for companies where they at the daily work recognize that they do everything to destroy this planet. So I think an easy hanging fruit is to talk to your team and serve a little bit of this energy that comes back from the people in your team.
Mm-hmm. Viola, what would you say to companies that are saying, yes, I'm willing, but I don't know where to start? Is it the communication part, or what is the part that you would highlight?
Yeah, I mean, Antje said already what you have to do internal. Of course, I can't say anything about that. I think start is transparency. Because as we learned years ago, nobody did know anything about their own textile supply chain. So first of all, find out where you produce, what you produce, how you produce, and learn from those who have done that already, like VAUDE or others who are on the detox map, where you can see how you can upload your data and so on. But the second step is really mainly what I said, if you want to stay in the planetary boundaries, if you want to reach the goals we also set in the European Union as with the Green Deal, we have to reduce the amount of resources we are using, and we have to do it drastically, and we have to do it soon. So that really means think about how you can become from a producer to a provider. Think about how you can use your specific region, or how your structure is. Do you have a lot of shops? Are you more online? What is your target group? Is it Gen Z? Is it whatever? Think about how you can become a provider, and that means, is it renting? Is it sharing? Is it second-hand? So the goal should be produce less and become part of this alternatives, become part of the future. Because I think it's not just something a Greenpeace campaigner says who's sitting here. These changes we are facing are drastically, and we have to start to change now. And I think if a company is not doing it right now, they will become the Kodak way, they will be gone, because we are living in a digital world. So that is the thing. They have to start now, and they have to find the right way. And if you are then a front runner, the idea and the wish for sustainability is a very big thing also for consumers. I mean, in a moment you still can get a lot of greenwashing there. So that's something we are looking, of course, on it. But the wish is there, and there will be a lot of regulations right now on the European level, on the German level, of the UN level, will change so much. Be aware you have to start now, and the best thing is to reduce less resources, be transparent.
Thank you, Viola. You have pretty much answered already the last question that I was about to ask to you, but maybe you have something you could then add to what you've just said. So Antje, I'll start out to you. So what would you advise companies that are here, that are listening, that are maybe also listening online, if they say, okay, I want to become a more sustainable company, especially with a view on the sustainable supply chain? What would you advise to them?
First step is the commitment. So really go into deep. So why do you want to do it? What do you want to achieve? What is the vision? It has to hold, because this is the source from which you get the energy for all the steps that are coming. And you need a lot of energy. Get the people on board that you are joined on this path. You need your entire team. You need all the divisions, and then in the third branch that you are there, take a look also what is already there, what standards, certifications, organizations like in the social part, Fairware are there. What can you board on? What certification systems like INAS, like target systems, like the science-based targets? What is out there? What are the best standards, and which can help you to guide you through this high complexity? You don't have to invent. Don't invent your way. Let yourself be helped and let yourself be guided by the very good certifications and standards and organizations that are out there.
Sounds great. Thank you, Antje. Viola.
Yeah, you heard already a lot. I said also before. So still, I think about how you became part of the new vision, how you can become a service provider. And I think if you want to do investing, if you want to change something and learn, find a way to get rid of synthetic fibers, and you will be the winner of everything. So that is the way you have to do, how you can keep it circular, how you really can recycle it. And I think the challenges are there. There are a lot of political stuff happening right out. It's a plastic treaty on UN level. It's so much about now the eco-design system. So, oh my God, there will be a lot of changes also on a European level about the textile strategy. We really have to be circular. If you start there, you can be the winner tomorrow. So now is the time to change.
Now is the time to change. And with this said, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Antje, for tuning in and just giving us your insights from VAUDE. And of course, thank you, Viola, for being here on stage and also sharing your experience. Please give them a loud round of applause. Thank you.